Thank you. There's been a lot of negative press about Armageddon. Nothing? But when this ancient prediction finally comes true sometime next week, it'll give us a rare opportunity to get right with God. You know, you might be meeting God sooner than you thought. So, since none of us really knows which God's going to be waiting for us, you better be prepared for all of them. First up is the notorious B-U-D, Buddha. You say the name, you immediately think of a religion that seems cool, but then you find yourself sitting in the lotus position with a couple of dysfunctional vegans who are only doing this because their learning annex instructor said it's a good way to meet singles. If you judge a religion on its teachings and not by the indentation its leader leaves in the sand, Buddhism may be for you. Hinduism is all about the reincarnation. I recently found out that in one of my past lives, I was a Roman transvestite. They called me Ben-Hur. Nothing? Ben-Hur, they said. Hindus have too many gods to pray to. That's the problem with them. When you want to switch, it's like changing doctors. You go to your elephant god. He has to send the old charts over to your new guy. You know how long that takes? You call up the elephant. Where's my charts? He's like, hey, I only got 2 hands. He said, I know. That's why I'm going Vishnu. He's got 11. I guess that joke would work better. I'm not an expert. If there were more than 2 hands on the Vishnu right there. There's only 4. I said 11. I was raised as a Catholic. And you can say what you want about us. People put all the blame on the priest. But when you're denied the godly pleasures of the flesh, and then a line of smooth young boys is kneeling in front of you with their mouths open, all right? That can bring out the French house music all night long in any one of us. Now, suddenly, Father Brian sashaying around the altar like Giselle Bundchen on the Milan runway. Father Flaherty's on the pipe organ blasting out, It's Raining Men. Nothing? All right. This brings us to the Jews. Everybody has an opinion on the Jews. They're like the blacks in the sense that when you choose to express that opinion, you shut the door first and lower your voice. The chosen people are guided by the teachings of the Torah and the Hollywood Reporter. Use caution around them with food. They tend to become agitated by it. The Jews are successful. They evoke a lot of anger in people, and it's still a debate whether they bring it on themselves or it's just good old-fashioned player hating. The tragedy of Israel is that if this thing goes off, they will be hit in a devastating attack that will leave their businesses, buildings, and housings decimated. The good news, they're covered for most of it. Islam is the Oakland Raiders of religion. There are many kinds of Muslims in the world, Sunnis, Shiites, and the Wahhabis. Now, not wannabes, I said Wahhabis, all right? How can I put this politely? The Wahhabis are the big newsmakers. On the positive side, the Islamics always take care of the poor. They're not materialistic as a rule, and they follow their religion closely. Hopefully not as close as the FBI follows it. But anyway, let's face it, nobody wants to stereotype a whole religion. But when you leave my church, they say, go in peace. And when you leave the mosque, they say, everybody with a knapsack, stick around. I got to talk to you about something. It's funny if you say knapsack instead of knapsack, by the way. If you're getting into comedy. We kid. But the truth is, if you want to jump on the Islamic bandwagon, just don't park it near a school. That's all I'm saying. Now, I know there are some... Wow. I know there are some fake intellectuals out there that say religion is the reason for all war. That's ridiculous. That's like blaming hip-hop for all the violence in music. Bad example. Religion is like anything else. Religion is corruptible like anybody else. In fact, like me, I'm corruptible. So send me $20 to the show, and if I die first, I'll put in a good word with you, with whoever's in charge. Thou shalt not change the channel, or I shall smite thee